let's get straight into the resources required. Go ahead and pause the screen on the list here for the items required in the overworld while we're building this farm. These will all be necessary right here. Next up will be the resources when we're building in the Nether. On the left is mandatory, on the right is to increase chances of pack spawning, but not necessary, only if you want the maximum rates on the right there. Next up will be the items that will help you build at all times, so always just carries these in a shulker box or whatever you wish, and 3 to 5 shulker boxes will help you out. You may or may not need to break bedrock too. These extra 2 shulker boxes are just the pack spawning blocks, not mandatory, but just for maximum rates, carry them in 2 extra shulker boxes. Once you got all that, pick them all up, and then find your nether portal. We're gonna head into the nether, and we're gonna be building this on the bedrock or above the bedrock. So what you're going to want to do is head up to the top of the nether, whether you're going to mine, jump, or fly there, just make your way up. Now once you're here, you're going to mine around the ceiling here, and until you reach on the right of your screen targeted block Y127, so you see that right below that yellow number there. So that bedrock is at the highest possible spot. Now you're going to want to place some ladders or a block to get up to there. Place the ladder all the way to the ceiling and get a ender pearl. Place it right at the corner of those blocks there, and then jump and move forward at the same time to get on top. Make sure you mark or write down that block so you know which bedrock block to break once you're on top of the ceiling, if you haven't done this already. I'm going to show you a quick way how to break bedrock. What you're going to do is place 2 obsidian, a lever on the side of the obsidian there, 2 TNT, a trap door right here. Flick that down for now. You can get rid of any temporary block. Paste a piston facing us, another piston in hand. Flick the lever, go under the trapdoor, right click a piston at the corner here, right down into the block. This will probably take you a couple tries. I'd recommend you practice it in creative mode first, that way you don't get stuck. And it took me about 5 tries. You could also replace your keybind for the right click to a number on the keyboard, which will make more clicks per second, and I found that made it 50% more effective doing that. Now that you have a hole in the ceiling, just go in the normal part of the nether, and we're looking for a basalt delta. So this biome here, with all the magma cubes and all these kind of blocks, write down the coordinates for a central point within this biome. We just need a radius that is about 40 blocks, all of this biome in a square shape ideally. Head back onto the roof. Now go to this area. So I'm going to mark all this out with the torches here. It's a 38 radius circle shape, but it's actually a bit more ideal for pack spawning to be a square shape. I found that out later. You can also check for the biome being basalt deltas on the left of the screen when you hit F3, so you see the biome that I'm in is all a basalt delta. So just run around that area you've marked off, make sure it is entirely within the basalt delta. I'm also just using a mod to show that on the screen too. So once you find that, get some scaffolding. We're going to build up 6 scaffolding blocks from the central point, and then 3 blocks out from the middle here. Then we're going to make a obsidian frame around all of the scaffolding, so just go all the way around it like so. Next we're going to build straight up obsidian, continuing an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks up from here. Now copy the exact same shape from below. No difference at all from the top to bottom, because we're going to be making 4 nether portals here. Once you have this frame here, go below and just fill in the corners with obsidian top to bottom. Now we have the shape of 4 nether portals. Grab some flint and steel. We can light up all the portals whenever we want now. And then from the center point here, which will be this central scaffold in here, you're going to want to write down your nether coordinates. So if you hit F3, we can see that I am at x0, y134, z465. We want to get that exact precise location or equivalent in the overworld too. So write it down and then let's head into any of the portals. And this will be why we want this so far away from anywhere else for the portals. And we're going to want to find the exact location in the overworld too. So I'm going to make my way out of the cave. And we're going to make that location in the air as well. We don't want it below ground, we want it close on the Y coordinates as well. If your portal is in a weird underground spot, just go ahead and mine it. So I've made my way onto the surface of the overworld and I found the exact spot where my nether portal will be equivalent to in the overworld. So that's x0, y will be higher up, z 3720. I'm only caring about the y coordinate because if you have 2 portals really close together, super close, then the y coordinate can come into effect with that. But if you don't make any other portals nearby, then the y coordinate won't matter, and then you can go ahead and build this farm like right on the surface of the world if you want. For me, since I'm on hardcore and I'll want portals close, I never want to end up in the middle of the magma cream farm in the overworld because that'll be about 100 magma creams ready to kill me if I do that. So I'm going to build it on the very precise locations and head up there to build the portal. So I'll build my nether portal now so that it is at exact location here. We're going to do a 3x3 nether portal for the space for the magma cubes to come into in the overworld here. You can cheap out and not use obsidian in the corners as always. And there we have it. The center of this spot here will be perfectly linked into the nether. Go ahead and grab your flint and steel again, light up your nether portal, head into the nether, and make sure you're going to the exact same portals each time you go in or into the portal for the farm. So I'm just going to head through each of the portals, marking off as I go which ones I've done. Alright, there we go. We now have each nether portal linked to this one here in the overworld. Let's start building the frame that'll go around the nether portal. Build 3 blocks out from the corner here. This could be any block you like, and then 1 block down on the outside. I'm just using glass because it's easier to see inside this way. And same thing on the other side, 3 blocks out, 1 block down. Doing the same thing from the center point here too, 3 blocks out, 1 block down. And repeat the same thing again on the final side here. Once you have that, we can connect all the outside edges. So the 1 block down that I showed you, just connect all of that all the way around into a rectangle square shape. And then continue building down on the walls here. I'm doing 4 blocks down of this block. Could be again any block of your choice. And then we're going to continue building down another 5 blocks added onto here. This again could be any block of your choice. So this is a total of 9 blocks down from the top, as you can see. I just used a different color of glass because I felt like it. Now place honey blocks right below the edge of the walls of the entire case here. So that's 63 honey blocks filled in there, like so. Now go below. We're going to place a line of solid blocks with a 1 block gap between this and the honey blocks. I'm using shroom lights because it just lights up the place, which is nice. So this will be a total of 9 solid blocks going along the entire bottom here. And connect it in the middle, of course. Grab glass or any block of your choice. Build out 3 blocks from the solid blocks, and this will be a 3 by 9 section here. Again, just using glass so I can see how the hopper minecarts will be moving in the future. Now we're going to place a row of glass along the solid blocks like so. Grab some temporary blocks, build out 4 blocks right below this glass like so, and then get your chests, place double chests all along here. So this will be 9 total double chests like so. And then you can grab hoppers, place them all going directly into the double chests, and this will be along the entire double chest. So 18 hoppers straight into there. From this layer here, which we can just fly into from here, we have the 2 rows of hoppers going straight down into all of these chests. Now we just need to shift click hoppers into these hoppers here like so, just pressing shift while I'm putting these into there. Now we can grab some solid blocks and place them on the outside edge of the hoppers here. So I'll go right here, shift click, and then place it on the outside there. Get rid of this block again. It's probably in the hopper and just below. And then just place the solid blocks along this edge like so. Now before we seal this area up, we're going to need to place all the rails on top of everything here. So just go ahead and place a line of them from one end to the other on top of every block, but we want to make sure that they face the direction going this way. And then we can get one more row of solid blocks, just going right onto the edge of the rails here. So it'll be looking just like this. Under your solid blocks in the center point here, go ahead and place 9 levers underneath every single one of them. This will just be to power the powered rails, of course, so flick them all on anytime you want. And then grab some chests. We're going to do another row of double chests here. Otherwise, your farm will quickly overflow with items. So another row of double chests straight underneath the other ones with a 1 block gap between them. And then grab your hoppers, place them into these chests below again. It's kind of hard to shift click, so from each side we'll go ahead and just do this. If you're on scaffolding, you're just going to need a solid block here to stand on to shift click them into place. To find frogs, you're going to need to head to a swamp, whether that is a mangrove or regular swamp. Found a bunch of frogs. I can go ahead and breed them with slime balls, and it's going to be easier at first, I think, to transport the tadpoles for the first 10 frogs. And now we wait for them to turn into tadpoles. I can start off by just placing 10 of my buckets with the tadpoles in here already, since they will turn into the temperate frogs for me. Just make sure you have water all around so that they do not die. Now once these guys grow up, I'm going to have 10 temperate frogs in here. For the nether method, fill in the area around your scaffolding with glass. Make a 2 tall chamber like so. Then place a tadpole in a bucket there. Quickly feed it 32 slimes like you saw there. And then you grab it quickly again with another water bucket. You repeat this process twice for the frog, and then once you release it the third time, it's going to quickly turn into a frog without dying. He may jump into the nether portal on his own like you saw there. And there you have it. You have quickly grown and transported a frog very easily. So go ahead and repeat this over and over, just feeding the tadpole 32 slime balls and then picking them up again with a water bucket before he starts to take damage. And repeat this process over and over until you have the 10 warm frogs bred and transported very quickly as well. Go ahead and count that you have them all. You'll probably have to push a few off the nether portals just to get them down into the water. If you have your farm up in the air like me, go ahead and place a nether portal directly below the other nether portal. And go into the nether, and you'll see that it goes right into the portals up here like so. Now we can quickly transport frogs from the ground up into the air. So go ahead and fill in this area here with glass if you have not already, so the frogs don't jump off on you. And now we'll see that when we go through this portal, we'll just go to the portal that is up in the sky that is perfectly linked on all axes as well. And then if you go through them again, you'll just see that you won't go to the portal on the ground, which is what you want to. Now, once you have that link done, go ahead and get your 10 tadpoles in a bucket again. We're going to go off in search of a frozen or cold biome to grow the green frogs. So all the biomes are these here. You're going to want to make an enclosure to grow the frogs once you find this biome. And then I just made a like 4x4 space for them to grow them so that I don't get killed while I'm doing this while I wait. Just cover it all in glass so they don't jump off on you as well. Once you have that done, go ahead and place the 10 buckets of tadpoles into the water like so. Now either you're gonna have to wait about 20 minutes, or if you feed them slime balls, then we can grow them very quickly. 9 stacks of slime balls will very quickly grow all the tadpoles. Once you have that done, go ahead and grab all the frogs with a lead so that they don't jump off on you. We got our 10 frogs spread up here and the sun is rising, so it's time to transport them all on leads. We're gonna have to go a decent distance with them. And you want to do this during the day to watch out for mobs like those annoying flying thingers, of course. Let's swim on through the ocean and head over to our farm. For me, I found it much easier to transport the frogs through the water. I tried it on the land, but they always fell off their leads or got stuck behind trees or things like that. So if you can, just go ahead and swim through the water. It seems like they never fall off their leads in the water. It's just when they go over blocks in the land, so you have to watch out for that. They fall off of those sometimes. So swim on over back to the Nether portal, or if your farm is on the ground, just head on over there. And watch out again for any of the blocks here so you don't lose a frog or two. And then pull them all into the Nether portal like so. And now they are all in there, so we'll head over to the Nether. So we just want these guys to head into the portals. Might have to get them to walk around a little bit and then push them into the portal. Try not to push them over the edge though, of course. There's a little bit of a cooldown time that you will have to wait for before they go back through the portals. And some of them might do this, so you can grab a lead and lure them back up. You will need to go up higher with scaffolding to bring the frog all the way back up here. Just like that. And for some of the stragglers, just head on top of the portals to try and pull them through over to the portal. In case any of your frogs, just for whatever reason, don't go through the portals, just break the portal and relight it, and then they'll get sent through right away. And then just make sure you go through that portal to relink it as well. So as you can see now, we got most of the frogs in here. So around 10 of each frog I found to be the most efficient way to gather up all of the goods from the farm without using an excessive amount of frogs. If you're one frog over or under, it should be totally fine though. Once you got all of the frogs on top of the honey blocks, you can get rid of the water sources anytime you want, as long as they're not tadpoles, of course. And we can also get rid of the glass or temporary blocks within the Nether. Now back at the overworld part of the farm here of the frogs, we're going to need to place temporary blocks on top of all of the honey, and then place candles on top of all of these temporary blocks. That's just because you can't place candles onto the honey and then above the candle here. That wouldn't work out. And just one candle, of course, too. So go ahead and do this over every single honey block. So that makes a total of 63 candles being placed. Once we got all the candles on here, I found it more efficient for the farm, or reduced chances of clogging up full of magma cubes, if we separate the frogs into 5 of each color on each side. That's just so all the frogs don't wander into one corner and then leave tons of magma cubes on the other corner, and then the magma cubes build up. So we're gonna put a line right in the middle here. You'll occasionally just need to use slime balls to get the frogs to move out of the way so that you can place the glass panes. Once you got everything but one glass pane in place, go ahead and grab the select amount of frogs to transport onto the other side using leads. So I need to get 3 more of the green frogs over, a couple more of the gray frogs to make the numbers even on each side. So just use the leads to pull them on over. Now build a temporary standing like pathway above here for placing some blocks, so a couple blocks above the candles, then we can place the powder snow after this. Now we'll be placing our powder snow, and we're gonna do it in a ring on this second layer here. We're gonna do that every second candle, so from the outside edge there, we're gonna go 1 in here, and then 1 block space between the powdered snow each time. And the final 2 powdered snow buckets are going to go right in the center points here. So 1 there. And 1 straight on top of this candle here. So we have the 12 powdered snow, just like that. With the most tedious and annoying part of the farm, or any frog-like farm, being collecting frogs all done and ready, we can just fill in the ceiling here, just to keep any magma cubes from jumping from the portal onto the outside of the farm once they get transported into the overworld here. Now go ahead and stand on this line of solid blocks here, right where all the hoppers and powered rails are. And we can place all of the minecarts with hoppers now on top of each row of rails here. Double check they're all moving back and forth as they should. And now this area is complete and ready for collecting all of the goods for you. I only had it once where a frog somehow got between the honey block and the glass and spilled out down there. If you notice that, then just go ahead and place like another row of blocks right here between the honey block and the glass block here. But I didn't have that issue at all in creative mode after testing the farm for hours and hours and hours in there. Now for the exciting part, we can get to work on the nether portion of the farm. So head on up in between all of the portals here. We're going to place 4 glass blocks in the middle section for the iron golems to go on. So from any scaffolding you have here, place each of them right here. So 1 block below the obsidian right here. And we will do this on every single side here. Perfect. Now grab 24 solid blocks of your choice and place them all along the inside edge of the portals like so. Now grab some wall blocks, could be any color of your choice, and place them 1 block above the glass on each side. So 1 goes here, 1 here, and 1 here, and do this for every single glass block. Alright, should be looking exactly like this. Get rid of the scaffolding that is directly underneath these wall blocks here. And then grab 3 temporary blocks, place them on each glass block here. And then place a wall block on top of every temporary block here. And then we're going to need to go up 1 block. So just place the block here. And then place wall blocks around each central wall block here. Alright, so you'll have this shape like so. Then get rid of each middle wall block here. And then get rid of the 3 temporary blocks below. And then you'll need to get rid of any block in the center here, because we're going to be placing the iron golems right in this section here. So back on top of here again with all those blocks out of the way, we can make our iron golems now. So to do this, place 1 block in between here, another there, 2 on the outside. You'll need to get rid of any block that's here. And then create your iron golem, place a jack-o'-lantern on top, and this guy falls right in there. And then we'll just be placing a wall block here above his head to keep him in place. As you go, you can get rid of the blocks that are here, but we'll leave these guys to contain them. Now we'll repeat the same thing all around. Temporary block within there, making the iron golem shape on top of that temporary block. Get rid of the temporary block, place the jack-o'-lantern on top, That guy's sealed in there. Get rid of these two outside wall blocks. So the iron golems are all in place now. So we have 4 of them because the spawning platform I made goes out about 16 blocks, which is the magma cube's tracking distance for iron golems. And I found with them in this placement, they were able to track towards the center pretty much immediately, almost all the time, so that we get the magma cubes into the portals as fast as possible to clear up the mob cap. Grab your half slabs now, and we're going to place them on the top block outside of the portals here, right along here, just like so, all the way around. This is to try to encourage the magma cubes to jump into the portals as fast as possible. Without this here, they jump up a bit higher and take longer to get into the portals. So I found this little ceiling here for them, helped them get into the portals faster to speed up the rates. These slabs are already going to be spawn proofed because they're in a bottom slab placement. We'll need to spawn proof the portal on the top here though, so just place a trapdoor or slab or glass, anything of your choice, just to spawn proof the top of the portals. We're going to build the ghast proofing of the farm now. The stone blocks are temporary blocks. The bottom slabs are ghast proofing. So follow this exact shape. We're building 4 blocks out from the center, and then either 2 or 3 blocks out from those blocks there. Make sure you have the slabs in a bottom slab position. The stone blocks are just temporary blocks to see what you're doing. We can start building the spawning platform for the magma cubes. So what we're going to do is place a square first around the nether portals, like so. And then we're just going to keep on building squares out from here. So 8 blocks out total from the nether portals, just in a big old square like so. So you can go ahead and see just 8 blocks out all the way around. Anytime you want now as well, you can get rid of the temporary blocks that are between the slabs up in the air and collect them if you're using them as building blocks, of course. Now on each edge, build a line of blocks except right in the corner, so we have a diagonal shape like so. Go 1 block diagonal outwards again, 2, and then a 2 block space onto the next line. This is basically just a circle. Now a 1 block diagonal around. Another 2 block space before the next line. And go ahead and check that it looks just like so. If it's not exactly perfect, that's fine, but I made it so that the magma cubes always track to the iron golems right away. Now we can place the trapdoors underneath all of the slabs here like so. This is to ghast proof the area and encourage the magma cubes to jump as fast as possible into the portals. Now place wall blocks pretty much around the entire circle, except right in that one spot there. And do this all the way around. You can use any wall block of your choice. I went for the white and green because I like the contrast. It doesn't matter about the color, of course, though. Now we're gonna build up the wall blocks to a total of 4 blocks tall. So you can see this is gonna go up an extra 3 blocks, making 4. You can go ahead and do this all the way around in case you think you're gonna forget that. And then from here, just fill in the wall blocks up to the max height of 4 blocks all the way around. And you can just go ahead and double check that you've got them all to this height as well. With our wall block done to contain the farm and everything all set up, we can get rid of any lights or scaffolding we have in the area to get the ideal environment for spawning, of course. I'm going to get rid of this guy here. I got another scaffolding on the other side here to get rid of. And I'm sure you would have noticed just a bunch of magma cubes spawning whenever you get within the range for them to spawn, that is. So I'm going to get rid of this. Place a block back there, of course. Alright, that's all sealed up. Now go right to the center of the farm, so in between these 4 iron golems here. And place scaffolding or anything just to get all the way up to the build height limit. And then once you're there, we're going to place a glass block, and that will be your AFK spot. Alright, I'm at the point where it says we're at the height limit, so that's perfect. Go ahead and climb up there. Alright, right at the height limit here. Mark this spot with some glass. Put a torch on if you wish. Can't even do that though because we're at the build height limit. And you want to make this AFK platform as small as possible. Just because we don't want many blocks above the farm, because that's going to reduce the chances of mobs spawning on you. And then you can get rid of your scaffolding once you have this point marked as well. I might not be able to see this because of the fog, so I'm just going to go 1 block lower. Place a little torch right there like so. And there you have it. The farm is pretty much all set up and ready to go. What we can do now is do a 1 hour AFK test. Now this is for the most basic version of the farm. To get even more mob spawning in there, it's pretty easy. We just need to add glass and create some more pack spawning chances. So glass extended out from these stone bricks here. One hour of AFKing done at the farm. We can take a look and see all the goods that we got. Looks like the frogs have been going to work. We got a whole bunch of magma creams hanging there. A few drops are lost because of the candles, but there isn't really any better way to filter the magma cubes out there. So if we take a look in all the chests here, I'll get rid of what I got in my inventory first though. Woohoo! That is looking full and full. We got a whole lot up in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and organize them and count them all up to show you what we got after 1 hour. If we count up all of this again with the magma creams, the verdant froglights here, the pearlescent ones, the ochre froglights, and all that added together, we get 23,848 items per hour on this 1 hour AFK session. I've had that in the range of that to 24,500 per hour as well. So the next step would be to add even more items per hour if you want, and it's pretty easy. I'll show you how to quickly do that with glass, trapdoors, or anything of that sort to increase your chances of pack spawning. Once you got your blocks, head to the Nether, of course. We can just build outwards from the spawning platform to increase the rates. So I'm just using glass because I think it looks cool, but could be glass or trapdoors or slabs. If you're using trapdoors or slabs, make sure they're in a bottom slab position in line or right beside those solid blocks of the farm. And you can go outwards from the farm up to 20 blocks out to maximize the rates and the chances of pack spawning. I thought before I made this video it has to be a circle kind of shape, but it's actually a square shape. So you can build 20 blocks outwards in a square shape to get the maximal amount of rates. And I thought this design kind of looked cool with the kind of rainbow here, so that's why I did this, but again, could be any of those other types of blocks. With our extra 20 layers of glass to maximize our chances of pack spawning within the farm, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the blocks in the way of the portals now so we can see exactly how many goodies we can get within 1 hour with this farm. With the extra 20 layers of glass added outwards to the farm, let's go ahead and see how many froglights we got from that. So it should be, based on my creative version, 28,000 total items per hour. So if we take a look through all these chests, it does look like more than last time because we have some extras in the hoppers here. So I'm going to go ahead and organize these and count them all up now. The farm has actually produced better results than I thought, which is most likely due to the local difficulty, which I wasn't able to change in creative mode. So I counted it all up in here. We got just over a double chest of magma creams, some extra ochre froglights here, full double chest of verdant froglights, another full double chest, half a double chest here, and then pretty similar for the pearlescent froglights. 2.5-ish double chests here, and then the ochre froglights got just over 3 whole chests of the goodies. blah blah blah. Yeah, so we got the magma creams here as well, added it all up, which was actually 30,000 items done in 1 hour from AFKing. So the longer you're in the area, the more your local difficulty will increase and the more large magma creams will spawn, which will always help boost the rates. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are fully done the farm. It is producing tons of froglights, and I'd say it's pretty simple design without using a massive amount of portals or a massive grind. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to stay tuned for future coffee craft tutorials and subscribe if you haven't already. And the best way to support this channel is by becoming a member. So if the video was really to your liking, consider joining that for updates and other things in the future.